Hello everyone, welcome to MMA Wired. UFC 274 was headlined by Oliveira vs. Gaethje, but controversy struck when Charles Oliveira became the first reigning UFC champion to lose their belt at the scale. What happened during the weigh-ins? What is the controversy surrounding the scales used? What does Charles Oliveira's future hold? Stay till the end and we will tell you all you need to know. First, let's look at what happened with the weigh-ins. On Friday, May 6, Charles Oliveira, who had his UFC lightweight championship on the line, came for his official weigh-in. In the first attempt, he weighed 156 pounds. So for the second attempt, he stripped naked and came at 155.5 pounds, which was half a pound over the limit. So he was given an hour to shed the extra weight. Even after taking the hour, there was no difference. So in a non-title fight, there is an element of leniency given to the fighter, and they can be up to 1 pound over the limit. So a lightweight division fighter can weigh up to 156 pounds. But in a case of a title fight, this accommodation is not offered. This is important considering that it was Oliveira's second title defense. So, after the failed weigh-in, the lightweight title was deemed to be vacant, and during the main event, only Justin Gaethje was eligible to win the title. It goes without saying that Gaethje made weight. So basically, even after Charles Oliveira won the fight, the lightweight title was vacant. Now for a fighter, this has huge repercussions. Being a reigning champion is one of the ways that UFC fighters maximize their earning potential. So, Oliveira will be itching for a title fight sometime soon. To the average viewer, it may not make much of a difference. The fact that remains is that both Oliveira and Gaethje are elite fighters in the lightweight division, but it was still shocking to see Oliveira lose his title even before a punch was thrown. Now let's quickly talk about the fight. It doesn't seem like Oliveira was fazed by the events at the weigh-in. He put on an incredible performance. There was non-stop action right from the get-go. Things came to an end when Oliveira scored a knockdown and then jumped on Gaethje's back. He then locked him in a rear naked choke submission, and that was it. In 3 minutes and 22 seconds, it was all over, and Charles Oliveira had won. Unfortunately, the UFC lightweight championship would not come back to him. Charles Oliveira then spoke to UFC President Dana White about the weigh-in issue. White assured him that Oliveira would compete for the UFC lightweight championship in his next fight. Now, let's look at the controversy surrounding the weigh-in. Charles Oliveira swears that he made weight on Thursday, but when he rechecked his weight, he found he was 2.2 pounds over the limit and then cut weight. In addition, he stated that after he failed his first attempt at the official weigh-in, he went to the sauna, used a sauna blanket, and worked out in an attempt to lose the extra half pound. He stated that there were other fighters who had issues with the weigh-in also, so fighters have alleged that there was a difference between the UFC's weighing scale and the official weighing scale. The difference could be anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds. Ariane Carnelossi, a fellow Brazilian strawweight who was part of the card in UFC 274, stated that someone had messed up the fighter's scale, leaving it with a half-pound difference. So the deal is that the unofficial weighing scale is maintained by the UFC so that fighters can check their weight before the fight begins. The official scales are usually maintained by the regulatory commissions. So for UFC 274, Arizona State Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission was responsible for the official scale. They released a statement stating that the official scale was calibrated correctly. Any unofficial scales that were provided by promoters like UFC were not calibrated or inspected by the commission, so they have basically blamed UFC for this kerfuffle. It does seem like it was down to UFC to ensure that its scale was accurate. Dana White stated that they would take drastic measures to ensure this didn't happen again. They would post a security guard to stand watch over the scale used by UFC to ensure that there was no issues. According to Dana White, it seems like fighters who are from countries that follow the metric system alter the scale to show the weight in kilograms, while the scale's default option was pounds. So he blamed this alteration for the inaccurate readings. Justin Gaethje, on the other hand, doubted the claims made by Charles Oliveira and Ariane Carnelossi. He said if someone was coming in for the weigh-in super late, it meant something had gone wrong. He also stated that he weighed the same on the official scales and unofficial scales. So, it seems like Gaethje has no sympathy for Oliveira's troubles. One thing you'll find interesting is that it is not the first time that Charles Oliveira has failed to make weight. Previously, on 5 occasions in his UFC career, Oliveira was unable to make weight. In 2016, during UFC Fight Night 98, he was 9 pounds over the limit. After that embarrassment, he took part in 12 bouts and made weight in all of them. He went on to an 11-1 spree and won the lightweight title in the process. And then we have the events of UFC 274. Next, look at what we've learned from UFC 274. Whether Charles Oliveira has the UFC lightweight title or not, he is probably the best fighter in that division. During the fight, Oliveira was aggressive from the beginning. He staggered Gaethje with the right-hander and threw kicks at him. Justin Gaethje dropped Oliveira twice but allowed him to get up on both instances. It is probably out of respect for Oliveira's grappling skills. Oliveira dropped Gaethje by sending a right-hander down the middle, and then Oliveira's ground game took over. In terms of grappling, there isn't anyone better. It is a pity that Khabib Nurmagomedov has retired. Islam Makhachev, who has been referred to as Khabib 2.0, has been working his way up the lightweight hierarchy, and he could be a possible contender. Nurmagomedov has come out stating that Makhachev was the right candidate to take on Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title. He said that UFC 281 on October 22nd in Abu Dhabi would be the perfect place for this fight. However, it seems like Oliveira has other plans. Following the fight, Oliveira challenged Conor McGregor, stating, "Conor McGregor, are you coming up or are you going to run away?" Now let's look at the previous instance where a fighter had issues with the weigh-in at a title fight. Interestingly, during UFC 223, the main event and title fight was between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Al Iaquinta. During the weigh-ins, Al Iaquinta came in heavy. At that point in time, the UFC stated that they would award the championship to Al Iaquinta if he won, despite the weight issue. Dana White said, "As far as the commission goes, Khabib is the one that's eligible for the title. But obviously, if Raging Al wins the fight, he's the champ." The point became moot since Khabib Nurmagomedov won that bout, so it is surprising that the UFC has taken a different stance this time around. At present, Dana White has confirmed that Oliveira would still receive pay-per-view points for UFC 274. White also stated that he didn't make weight. "We have rules. The belt is vacant. I'm sure in the minds of the media and fight fans, Oliveira is the champion, you know? But technically, he's the #1 contender now. He's the guy." And that's a wrap. Charles Oliveira will have to fight again to reclaim his lightweight title. We will have to see the new measures put in place by UFC to prevent any tampering with the scales. What is your take on this controversy? Who should Charles Oliveira take on next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.